I have nothing but fond memories of the Generation 1 era of Pokemon, with red, green, blue, and yellow, but these are the games that I revisit the least on this channel because my favorite feature from Pokemon didn't even exist yet in these games: shiny Pokemon. The constant sliver of hope that I might encounter a super rare, different colored Pokemon is one of the many things that motivates me to keep doing long, repetitive grinds in these games. And while I appreciate exploring the monochrome world of Kanto whether or not there are shinies, it just doesn't feel the same without them. Without that little sliver of hope. But what if there really was a sliver of hope? And some of these monochrome Pokemon were hiding the secret that they were shiny all along. And you can transfer them up to other games to see that. A Pokemon's stats are determined the same way in Generations 1 and 2, and that's what decides whether or not it's shiny. So if we can scrutinize a Pokemon's stats like we're looking at a lottery ticket when we go to the gas station and get a nice crisp Baja Blast, but get turned down because we're 10 years old and just get the Baja Blast instead, we can shiny hunt in Generation 1. Here's how it works. So in Generation 1 and 2, a Pokemon's stats are determined by its DVs, which stand for determinate values. These are numbers that range from 0 to 15, meaning that there is 16 possibilities for each one, bringing us to a grand total of 65,530 possibilities. Think of these as like the grandfather of modern day IVs that a Pokemon has. Back in my day, I determined shininess. Let's get you to bed, Grandpa. But yeah, the DVs actually did also determine if a Pokemon was shiny. The only way that you can have a shiny Pokemon in Generation 2 is if your defense, special, and speed were 10, and if the attack was one of these 8 values here, meaning that there are 8 possible shiny sets out of all the 65,536. Which brings us to the good old 1 in 8192 shiny odds. That's where it comes from. But in Generation 1, all 65,536 of these aren't always possible. The tall grass is normally your best friend for getting random encounters for shiny hunting, but in Generation 1, maybe you should listen to Professor Oak's warning. The number that's constantly rolling in the background to determine whether or not you get an encounter is directly tied to how Pokemon's stats get generated, and it works out that in every cave and every patch of wild grass in the game, it is impossible to generate a shiny Pokemon this way. But every other type of encounter works totally fine, with all 65,536 possibilities. Like gift Pokemon, interactable Pokemon, fishing encounters, and even in-game trades actually do work for shiny hunting. Which makes it so all these Pokemon can never be shiny in Generation 1 without glitches. But emphasis on the without glitches. We can break these games wide open to make any Pokemon possible. Even Generation 2 Pokemon that look like total nonsense in Generation 1. So, out of all these exciting possibilities, of course the Pokemon that I'm going to shiny hunt is Oddish. It's me, Calzone. I am very happy to announce that scientists have recently uncovered ancient Oddish fossils that can be revived. What's really cool is that they think that these Oddish fossils could have been the apex predators of their times. Oddish is normally one of those wild grass only encounters that can't be shiny in red and blue, but we're gonna break the fabric of reality like I normally do to get it shiny. There are gonna be no modifications to the Pokemon Red cartridge here, nothing. It's a retail copy. We're just gonna do some crazy glitches to make it happen. Since we're reviving this Oddish from a fossil, I have found a fossil regeneration station, and I filmed the Pokemon hard at work here reviving the fossils. Here's a skit that has almost nothing to do with Gen 1, and then we'll get into things. Welcome to the Fossil Restoration Station!
Fossil Restoration Station!
I meant fossil. You were supposed to say fossil, not fossil.
Anyway, we're here to show you the amazing science of fossil restoration. Oh, sorry, bro. sorry, we're late, Giblin Goodbye.
Oh my gosh, Roman Nasai, I'm so sorry, I'm late. But I've got a hot foss straight out of the fossil mines for you today. So let's show you how this all works.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the demonstration station.
Yeah, what he said. You did awesome, babe.
Ooh, there's someone left. I'm foodling out. Thanks, babe. Anyway, who wants to see me punch this rock out this wall?
Oh, I do.
All right, here goes nothing.
I'm so excited to restore this hot foss.
Why do you keep saying that?
I'm trying to get it to catch on.
Hey guys, would you want to see the next step of the process? You just head up this ladder. I fell too.
This is an OSHA violation.
What's OSHA?
I can climb the ladder too.
He's too short to reach it.
Never mind, maybe one day.
Check out Marowak move the forklift.
Hey guys, I'm Marowak. I am forklift certified.
Boop. Oh, that was so fast! Alright everybody, who's ready to see what fossil this Pokemon gets revived into? Okay, everybody.
I'm praying that this fossil revival goes well.
Don't worry, we handle this all the time, Chirim. What in the world?
Is that an Oddish from
It's
the ancient
Arceus.
Oddish army?
Arceus,
Oh, sorry.
this hot foss is now a hot odd.
You could say it's Hot Mama Odd. Origin story. I'm Hot Mama Odd.
I really don't know what I'm doing with this intro. Let's get into the shiny Oddish that I found in Gen 1 with this crazy glitch. Okay, so the part I've actually been dreading here after that is explaining what we need to do here on Pokemon Red. This website right here, Blue Moon Falls, the Generation 1 shiny tool, is our best friend for that. It's got this drop down where you can select any species of Pokemon from Gen 1 or 2, and we want to do it with fossil conversion here. Then, directly under that, there will be an instruction thing for it that applies directly to the specific species of Pokemon we're trying to revive, because the process is slightly different with some of the numbers of items we use or toss with every single individual Pokemon. So, I'm going to give a very brief explanation of it, definitely not an exhaustive guide. You might want to follow one of the linked guides here, like Natoem's guide or Kazuli's guide, like this video right here. I'm just going to try and explain it the best I can. And I don't know if I can explain it all because I don't really know a lot about Gen 1. I barely know what I'm doing. We have to start things with a brand new save file. And immediately upon starting the file, we need to turn off the game as soon as we hit yes for saving. If you time it correctly, you should have access to your Pokemon menu now, with no Pokemon. And we have an extended party that goes beyond the bottom of the screen. If we swap the first Pokemon with the 10th Pokemon, we've activated Item Underflow, which makes our bag look really strange, full of a lot of nonsense items, but all of these items are directly tied to important things within the game, like our trainer's name, our money, the current map that we're in, and we have pretty much full control of the game now through our item menu. With some specific item tosses and manipulation, we can leave our house and end up in Cinnabar Island by changing the map data. And by following some steps here, we can make it so that we have a Dome Fossil right off the bat. Then we pump up the glitch Pokemon in the first slot of our party with a certain number of proteins and rare candies to have it match the attack stat that we need for our species of Pokemon we want to revive. Then we go to the Safari Zone, Calzone's favorite place, and capture a Pokemon normally. Then we'll be allowed to deposit a lot of our glitch Pokemon into the PC here, and do some further setup. We actually have to go back to Pallet Town now and play the game a little bit normally, and get our Charmander up to a level 50 Charizard. Then we defeat the Nugget Bridge normally to get a Nugget, and to catch an Abra, which is here. Then we have a lot more crazy items set up where we're working around with a lot of different items, doing some shopping too in the Celadon City department store. Then we have a lot of really specific movements and tossing of items to set up our bag in a very particular way. I'm not even going to pretend that I fully understand what's going on here, so I recommend just reading the guide on Blue Moon Falls and following every step to a T here. This whole process from new game to getting to Cinnabar Island at the end here took a little bit over an hour for me, and it does take a few tries sometimes, so I recommend saving often throughout this process in case you mess up. Also, navigating the item menu can be a little bit weird. Sometimes you have to press B or A to get past an item when the cursor gets stuck, so keep that in mind too. Eventually, after enough setup, you'll be back in Cinnabar Island and you can talk to the scientist here to get your hot Foss revived every single time. It becomes a simple soft reset hunt from this point on, and we can check its shininess by looking at the stats at the top of the screen on the Gen 1 Shiny Tool site. If they match up, use a rare candy and press the X button here. If they continue to match up, you have eventually reached a shiny. But if they don't anymore, unfortunately you were one off in one of your DVs. This only happened to me once over the course of this hunt.
No! No! I've never made it this far before!
I did this throughout a lot of August during Quick Panic and Tales of Taylor's Fossil Week event, and for comfort, I actually transferred this save file to my 3DS's so I could do it with a cozy little controller setup. Eventually, I found my shiny Oddish. Here's the reaction.
That's amazing. Makes you think of like the Cars story. That Oddish has a huge... Yeah, it does. It's kind of crazy. I don't know how that happened. You have to ask Calzone. Do I know how to replace a Switch battery? I don't, and I need to learn, because my Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee Switch has that same problem. Its charge does not last very long. Also, is this one? Oh my gosh, this might be it. This might be it. Bottom left game, folks. It matches up. But we have to do the rare candy moment of truth. We have to do the rare candy moment of truth. Okay, 71... 36, 44, 29, 56. 19,562. Is this gonna be the one? Or we gotta use one of our 0 rare candies here. Alright, let's use it. Alright, 73 HP, that's good. Then we need 37 attack, 45 defense, 29 speed, and 57 special. That's it! Shiny Oddish! That's a shiny Oddish right there. The bottom left game. Let's go. All right, we have to prevent it from evolving. Huge. You just clicked on. You got to you watched the winning lottery ticket, Dallas. This is so crazy. This is massive. So we need to go to item number 36. So these master balls right here. Right? We need to toss them until only we have 4 of them. Alright, we have 4 of them now. We're good. Alright, and now we're gonna go to Lavender Town just by walking outside. We're there! Yay! Hello, hello, I'm the official name raider. We're gonna name it Ancient H, because it was revived from a fossil. We're good. We can trade it now over to Gen 2. Here we go. It'd be really funny after all of this, it's not a shiny Oddish. Alright. Calzone is trading the Oddish. Trading the Pidgeotto. This is the moment of truth. Alright, let's see what happens. Moment of truth. It's black and white. Unova confirmed. Oh, the suspense. We watch it on that screen. It's coming across. It's already kind of got the shiny palette on the mini sprite there. That is shiny, baby. Moving its little feet. Shiny Oddish. This is making your stomach hurt? I'm sorry, I'll disable the wireless communications immediately. I didn't realize that the 3DS wireless could do that. Look at that, Ancient H. So sick. OT Calzone. And I'm actually gonna transfer this all the way up, believe it or not. Because Game Boy Mark Pokemon might be extinct one day, much like this Oddish once was. So I'm transferring this one up, and if I want a Gen 1 Oddish, I'll hunt it in Gen 2. Or if I want another one, I'll hunt it in Gen 2, like actually in the wild. Alright, normal Graveler. H. Paradox Oddish, look at her.
But yeah, this thing really does just transfer up all the way with no issues. But I'm not taking it out of Alola until I get every ribbon I can get on it there, which I'll save for another video another day maybe. It was cool to finally take on a Gen 1 shiny hunt with these lottery ticket numbers, but there are other ways to hunt in this game that involve even crazier glitch setups that I'm excited to explore. I'm talking built-in shiny indicators in Gen 1, so look forward to that someday. But until then, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Also, watch that whole skit if you want on the second channel. It's stupid in a good way, I think.